St. Bonaventure High School. This is your morning Green and Gold cast with your anchors Zach Hamrick and Michael Frank.
Good morning, Sarah.
And welcome to your morning Green and Gold cast.
I'm Zach Hamrick.
And I'm Michael Frank. And this is a special tribute broadcast to the last 50 years in St. Bonaventure's history.
That's right, but first things first, Michael Frank, let's go over
the details of the block party.
That's right, the details of the block party. We'll have a live band, Wano and Friends, and we'll start from 6:30 to 9:30.
That's right, and it's on March 8th, just to be clear.
With a taco man.
Now let's talk about the 60s.
The 60s. Back in the 60s, a craze swept America. Beatlemania. The Beatles took over the minds and hearts of all of us.
That's right, Zach. Starting with the Ed Sullivan Show, of course. They actually swept through America pretty fast.
Yeah. We have a clip from a special show they had in the States. Check it out. Those Beatles sure are some good looking guys.
That's right, Zach.
In 1967, a new tradition captivated America. As we know it today, Super Bowl Sunday began. The Packers won the first Super Bowl 35-10 over the Chiefs. And the rest is history.
A whole new frontier entered America when John F. Kennedy was elected President of the United States. In his inauguration speech, President Kennedy said that he would put a man on the moon. By golly, he did. For on July 20th, 1969, Apollo 11 landed on the moon. And only 6 hours later, Neil Armstrong was the first man to step foot on the moon. Neil Armstrong even said, "It was one small step for man, and one giant leap for mankind." You're looking far out, Zach.
You're looking pretty groovy yourself.
Now turning to the 70s started off right with the hit TV show MASH. It went on for a decade and was one of the most watched TV shows of all time. I mean, who wouldn't remember Hawkeye's practical jokes, and who wouldn't want to be lip-locked with hot lips?
Oh man. Moving from the small screen to the big screen, in 1977, George Lucas introduced the most famous space opera of our time and took us to a galaxy far, far away in Star Wars.
Oh, I am your father.
That was one epic showdown. Now moving into something a little bit different, in 1978, Pope John Paul II was elected as Pope and held office until 2005.
That's right, Zach. Pope John Paul II did a lot of good for the world. And now, let's talk about disco fever. The disco craze swept across America, swept us off our feet, and put us onto the dance floor. Leading this charge was John Travolta's Saturday Night Fever, one of my favorite movies, and I think it's one of your favorite movies too, Zach.
Oh, I definitely agree. And here we are, Michael, the 80s.
Yeah, fun time for cutting it loose like in Footloose.
Oh, nice! In 1984, the Olympics were held here in the United States, actually in Los Angeles. Many of the events were in the Coliseum, and I think we did pretty well.
I think so, Zach. Ooh. We won like 10 events each.
I think we did.
And now let's talk about something big in the 80s, music and movies.
Hey Mike, you remember the first iPod?
I don't actually, Zach.
Well, here it is.
Not too easy to carry around, is it?
No, not at all.
As for music in the 80s, many artists made a huge impact on everyone in the United States. Madonna, Michael Jackson, MC Hammer, and even MTV opened up. As for movies, some of our favorites are out there. The Goonies, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 16 Candles, and even Karate Kid.
To end the decade, speaking of karate, Ronald Reagan karate chopped communism when he went over to Germany and finally took down the Berlin Wall.
Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days.
The 90s, so fresh.
So fresh. The 90s brought a whole new genre of music, hip-hop and rap, with greats like Will Smith, Chris Cross, and Tupac.
That's right. The 90s also brought a rise in technology, which led to one of the biggest movie-making companies of all time, Pixar. Pixar had greats in the 90s like A Bug's Life and Toy Story.
Buzz Lightyear! Now, could you imagine the world without the internet?
I could not, Zach.
And the internet came to us in the 90s and has revolutionized the way we live our lives.
That's right, Zach. Information was now at the tips of our fingers. And finally, the Northridge earthquake, which happened in the 90s and definitely shook the decade.
Oh man, what's going on? What's going on? We made it! The 2000s! We survived Y2K and none of the computers crashed.
Alright, I think we can get up and out of this.
I think we can too.
The 2000s also ushered in some new literature, which included, I personally think, the best series of all time, Harry Potter, written by J.K. Rowling. This 7-book series changed America for the better. Expecto Patronum! Whoa, what just happened, Zach?
That was pretty impressive.
You know, I learned some things from Harry.
Now, in 2008, a senator from Illinois by the name of Barack Obama became our nation's first African-American president.
Yeah, that's right, Zach. He ushered in a time period of hope and change. As for other firsts in the world, the first South American Pope was actually elected last year, Pope Francis of Argentina. He has already actually earned the nickname of the Humble Pope.
That's amazing. That really is. Now, we would like to thank you for celebrating the past 50 years with us and wearing that green and gold with pride.
That's right. We couldn't do without you. And we're looking forward to another 50 years in the future.
And as always, you stay classy, St. Bonaventure.
And thanks for stopping by.
But stay classy.